Good evening and welcome to Breaking News on NDTV. I am Ankit Tyagi. Ladies and gentlemen, we keep counting days. It's been more than 40 days since the wrestlers' protest against Brij Bhushan Singh, the powerful Bharatiya Janata Party MP and the former Wrestling Federation of India chief, started. Now there are contradictory statements coming out. A lot has been said about one of the minor, the POCSO case being impacted because the minor has taken her statement back. Whether the wrestlers, the three faces, Bajrang Punia, Sakshi Malik and Vignesh Phogat, are they stepping back? They have joined their services in the railways. Is the external pressure, because it's been 2 months since the FIR was filed, nothing has happened on that. Is the external pressure working against the wrestler? Is that now weighing down the wrestlers, or the internal crumblings, the differences with the khap? Many say the secret, trying to make a secret deal with Amit Shah. Is that some way deterring away the wrestlers' protest? What is going to be the future? That is going to be our top focus at this moment. Is the wrestlers' protest crumbling under pressure, and is it also deliberate? That is what we will discuss. But before that, on all these big questions that have been asked, whether, the wrestler protest is fizzling out, is there a way forward? Are there differences in the wrestlers? My colleague Saurabh Shukla caught up with Bajrang Punia, and the wrestler had this to say, but he ended with one most important thing. Fight for justice continues. Take a look.
बजरंग, तमाम सवालात हैं और एनडीटीवी पर आप एक्सक्लूसिव बात कर रहे हैं। बहुत दिनों बाद आप मीडिया के सामने ऐसे आए हैं। सवाल नंबर 1, पहला सवाल, खबर ये आई, कल आप लोगों ने खंडन भी किया है कि आप लोग रेलवे के एम्प्लॉयज़ भी हैं, साथ में आपने नौकरियां ज्वाइन कर ली हैं, और नौकरियां ज्वाइन करने के बाद भारत सरकार की, क्या भारत सरकार के खिलाफ प्रदर्शन करेंगे या प्रदर्शन वापस लेंगे? इस पर थोड़ा क्लैरिफिकेशन दीजिए।
देखिए, सबसे पहले तो आंदोलन कोई पीछे नहीं हटा है, आंदोलन लगातार जारी है। हम उसमें रणनीति बना रहे हैं कि आगे कैसे बढ़े। हम रेल के एम्प्लॉई हैं, कर्मचारी हैं हम रेल के। जब हमारा प्रोटेस्ट उस दिन वहाँ से उठाया गया 28 तारीख के बाद, तो एक दिन जाके साइन करके आए थे, क्योंकि हमने छुट्टी दे रखी थी, और छुट्टी देने के बाद वो हमने दोबारा एक दिन गए थे, उससे साइन करके वापस आ गए थे। तो इससे ये तो नहीं कि भैया हमने आंदोलन वापस ले लिया है।
ये भी बात उठ करके आ रही है सामने कि आप लोग गृह मंत्री से रात में मिले, शनिवार को मिले?
जी मिले थे, खिलाड़ी मिले, कोचेज भी थे,
मिले थे। इसकी पुष्टि कर रहे हैं आप। उसमें ये कह रहे हैं कि भाई आप लोगों ने पीछे से सेटिंग कर ली है, अब आप लोग कोई आंदोलन नहीं करेंगे। आप कह रहे हैं प्रदर्शन कर रहे हैं, पर लोग ये कह रहे हैं कि भाई गृह मंत्री से मुलाकात हो गई, इनकी बातचीत हो गई, अब देखो ये लोग घर बैठ गए हैं। तमाम जो लोग हैं प्रदर्शन कर रहे हैं कि आप देख लीजिए, आप लोग तो ऐसे ही कर रहे थे, इन्होंने सेटिंग कर ली, पीछे सारी बात बन गई है, अब कुछ नहीं होने वाला।
कोई सेटिंग नहीं है, और जो सरकार की जो बातें थी, नहीं तो खिलाड़ी सहमत है उस चीज़ से, और जो खिलाड़ियों ने जो चीज़ बोली है, सरकार भी उसमें कहीं एग्री दिखाई नहीं दे रही है।
गृह मंत्री से क्या बात हुई, अगर आप बताना चाहें थोड़ा बहुत?
ये वो एक साइड तो हमारे को बोला गया कि भाई इस मीटिंग पे कहीं पे भी कोई कुछ नहीं बोलना है, जो सरकार के लोगों द्वारा, और उसके बाद पीछे से वो चीज़ें निकल के आ रही हैं।
सरकार के लोगों ने बताया कि आपकी मीटिंग हुई है, मैं तो बता रहा हूँ आपको।
वही बोल रहा हूँ ना, तो
और आपने तो बताया नहीं हमें। देखे,
वही लोग पीछे से बता रहे कि भाई खिलाड़ी मिले हैं और ये बात हुई है। तो हमने यही कि भाई हम गृह मंत्री जी से मिले हैं, हमने यही बात रखी कि भाई उनको अरेस्ट क्यों नहीं किया गया अभी तक, उनका बचाव हो रहा है अभी तक, ऐसे केस हिंदुस्तान में पहली बार हुआ है। तो हमने तमाम चीज़ें बताई उनको, तो बोले कि हम बात कर रहे हैं और इस पर ज़रूर एक्शन होगा। तो उन्होंने हमें आश्वासन दिया, लेकिन इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि भाई बातचीत से, अगर हम बातचीत किसी भी आदमी से नहीं करेंगे, गवर्नमेंट से नहीं करेंगे, तो उसका सोल्यूशन कैसे निकलेगा?
गृह मंत्री के अंडर दिल्ली पुलिस है, आप मिले, सही किया आपने।
तो वो चीज़ें अलग हैं और प्रोटेस्ट अलग है। लेकिन ये नहीं कि हमने प्रोटेस्ट से पीछे कदम ले लिए हैं। अगर हम उस चीज़ से सहमत नहीं हैं तो हमारा प्रोटेस्ट जारी है, और जल्दी ही, मैंने उस दिन पंचायत में भी यही बोला था कि हम कोई रणनीति बना के ज़रूर आप लोगों तक को बताएंगे 2-4 दिन में कि भाई हम क्या आगे कर रहे हैं।
तो सर ये बताइए कि लोग ये कह रहे हैं कि आप मिले गृह मंत्री से, अच्छा क्या मिले, और मिलना चाहिए, जाहिर सी बात है, देश के गृह मंत्री हैं, दिल्ली पुलिस इनके अंडर है, और बातचीत की कोई रास्ता निकलता है, बढ़िया है कि आप लोग भी मैट पे वापस आए, देश के लिए मेडल लाएं। लेकिन ये बात हो रही है कि आप लोग फिर रात में मिल क्यों मिले और फिर इस मीटिंग को इतना गुप्त क्यों रखा गया, इस पर सवाल उठ रहा है।
देखिए, वो तो गवर्नमेंट के लोग ही बता सकते हैं, और जब वो उनके पास समय हुआ तभी मिल सकते हैं। ये तो नहीं है कि भाई हम तो प्रोटेस्ट पे बैठे, हम तो 24 घंटे इसी चीज़ में लग रहे हैं। हम तो जब गृह मंत्री जी बोलेंगे तभी मिल सकते हैं, क्योंकि उनका समय होना ज़रूरी है। भाई देश के गृह मंत्री हैं, बहुत सारी चीज़ें उनके कार्यकाल में चल रही हैं। उनके एक यही मुद्दा नहीं है कि भाई खिलाड़ियों का प्रोटेस्ट ही उनका मुद्दा हो, तो और भी देश के बहुत सारे मुद्दे हैं जिन पे वो काम कर रहे हैं। तो उनका जो टाइम होता है, फ्री टाइम होता है, उसी हिसाब से वो मिल सकते हैं। लेकिन इसमें वो पहले भी आपने बताया कि भाई बातचीत से सोल्यूशन निकलता है, तो वो चीज़ें हमने अपनी बात रखी हैं। तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि भाई हम आंदोलन में,
मतलब आपको आश्वासन नहीं मिला कि अरेस्ट होंगे, ब्रिज भूषण की अरेस्ट होंगे, या जो दूसरे मांगे हैं आपकी, उस पर आश्वासन मिला है कि नहीं मिला आपको?
देखिए सौरभ भाई, हम आश्वासन पे बिल्कुल भी पीछे नहीं हटेंगे।
ठीक है, जब तक होगा
पहली
नहीं।
बात तो ये है, क्योंकि आश्वासन पे हम पीछे नहीं हटेंगे। हम जनवरी में एक बार आश्वासन, भारत सरकार ने आश्वासन दिया था हमें, और उसमें हम उठ के चले गए थे। लेकिन क्या हुआ, हमें ही झूठा घोषित कर दिया। तो पहली चीज़ तो ये है कि ना तो हम जो लोग हैं, जो ब्रिज भूषण के समर्थक है, वो बहुत सारी चीज़ें चला रहे हैं, और जो उनके न्यूज़ चैनल हैं आजकल, ज़्यादा हम बोल नहीं रहे थे, लेकिन जो टीवी मीडिया है ना, वो सारा वही बोलता है जो उसके पास पहले ही पहुंच जाता है।
बजरंग, एक खबर अब ये भी आ रही है सामने कि जो नाबालिग लड़की जिसने यौन उत्पीड़न की कंप्लेंट दी थी, उसने अपने बयान बदले हैं जाके कोर्ट में। पहले 164 में उनके मजिस्ट्रेट के सामने बयान हुए, फिर उन्होंने अपने बयान बदल दिए हैं, या एक तरीके से कह लीजिए जो उनके आरोप है उससे उनसे वो पीछे हट गई हैं। इस पर क्या आपकी बात हो गई उनके परिवार से, या आप लोगों के साथ में ही? जाहिर सी बात है कि सब आप लोग साथ में हैं, और वो भी एक महिला खिलाड़ी है, पहलवान है, उस पर क्या कहना है? उस पर क्या आपके पास कोई जानकारी है कि वो वाकई पीछे हटी है नाबालिग महिला पहलवान?
देखिए, सोर्सेज ही चल रहे हैं,
सूत्र, हाँ,
सोर्सेज ही चल रहे, सूत्र ही चल रहे हैं
जी।
अब ये बताइए कि देश उन सूत्रों पे भरोसा करे या उनके फादर के जो बयान आए हैं उन पे भरोसा करे। उनके फादर से आपसे भी बात हुई होगी
जी,
तो वो बोल रहे कि हमने कोई भी कंप्लेंट वापस नहीं ली है, नहीं हमने कोई बयान चेंज किए हैं। तो हमारी भी बात हुई है, तो वो हमें भी वही यही बोल रहे हैं। तो हमें समझ में नहीं आ रहा ये सूत्र आते कहाँ से हैं और ये खबर चलती कहाँ से है। पूरा देश ये सोचना चाहिए कि भाई उसके फादर पे हमें भरोसा करना चाहिए या सूत्रों पे हमें भरोसा करना चाहिए।
तो आप कह रहे हैं कि उनके फादर जो कह रहे हैं वो बिल्कुल सारे, जो ये बात आ रही है कि उन्होंने बयान बदले नाबालिग लड़की ने, वो गलत है?
ये तो न्यूज़पेपर में भी आई है और हमारी बात हुई, उन्होंने मना किया है।
उन्होंने मना किया
बिल्कुल कि भाई जैसे हम लड़ाई में शुरुआत में थे ऐसे ही अब खड़े हैं।
So Bajrang Punia clearing up his side of the story. He says that there hasn't been any deal as far as the Home Minister is concerned. He also said the protest will continue, not backing out from the protest. And the most important thing, because this has been planted again and again, that, the girl who had registered a case under the POCSO Act against Brij Bhushan Singh, she has taken her statement back. There are also very legal complications when you first register a statement under section 164 of the CRPC in front of the magistrate. It's just not like that you can take it back, and specifically in the POCSO case as well. But having said all this, is there somewhere some sort of distrust brewing between the Khaps and the wrestlers? Because on June 9th, Rakesh Tikait, whose brother Naresh Tikait had gone and stopped the wrestlers from immersing their medals in the river Ganga, had said that on 9th June, that was the deadline, they will march with the wrestlers and come back to the protest site of Jantar Mantar. That has been postponed. Why? Listen in to what Rakesh Tikait said.
कोई जानकारी नहीं है। ज्वाइनिंग करना, भाई ज्वाइनिंग तो कर ही रही, नौकरी तो उनकी चली रही है। नौकरी पे जाना आंदोलन से वापसी नहीं होता। ये जाके वो ज्वाइनिंग कर रही है, वे ड्यूटी पे जा रही होगी, तो उसका मतलब ये नहीं कि आंदोलन से वापसी हो गई। ये तो जरूर हुआ कि बजरंग पुनिया ये सब लोग मिले थे गृह मंत्री से, और ये हमने भी कहा था कि सरकार इनसे बातचीत करे। बातचीत शुरू हुई है, अभी उसके क्या रिजल्ट आए वो नहीं पता, लेकिन 9 तारीख वाला प्रोग्राम जो होगा, अभी इनके कहने से 9 तारीख वाला प्रोग्राम अभी स्थगित करा जाता है जो दिल्ली में था, और जो भी ये डेट देंगे उस पर सब लोग हम इकट्ठे होंगे।
So rounding up to the big question that I'm asking right now, is the wrestler protest crumbling under pressure? Key questions. Are key faces stepping back? Bajrang Punia has said they are not, but is there pressure? Role of Rakesh Tikat. Is there division within the khaps? There are certain khaps we saw what happened in Kurukshetra as well. There was a lot of tu-tu meme between them. Lack of trust between wrestlers and khap. Many members have come out and said, wrestler didn't tell us. They didn't, consult with us when they had to go and meet Mr. Amit Shah. Is the lethargic pace of investigation weighing down the wrestlers? It's been 2 months and wrestlers are still waiting for some action. Uncertainty due to inaction against Brij Bhushan Singh. This remains a big, in fact, sore point as far as this entire narrative is concerned. Let's just very quickly, ladies and gentlemen, introduce our guest this evening. Where is the wrestlers' protest going on from here? Ashwini Nachappa, former international athlete and Arjuna awardee, is joining us this evening. We also have Rahul Mehra. He's a sports activist and a lawyer. We also have Dr. Geeta Bhatt, political analyst leaning towards the Bharatiya Janata Party, joining us at this moment. I welcome all of you on the broadcast. Thank you for joining us. Rahul Mehra, I want to bring you in first because you are a lawyer. I just want to understand, put this in context for our viewers. Is it that easy in a POCSO case to just come out and say source-based that a statement which has been made under section 164 by a minor girl can be taken back and she can once again go and give a statement under section 164? And does that then, does the police close the earlier statement, does not do any investigation in what she had said earlier?
So one thing is very clear, Ankit. Obviously, there's more to it than meets the eye. More of it is behind the scenes, and less of it is now in front of the cameras. None of us know what exactly transpired in that meeting with the Honorable Home Minister. But the more I see things and the more I hear the interviews, I do believe that just like the first round, where players actually agreed with the government of the day, and the government tried to buy time, and then everything was diffused. I think we are on the same pattern. It's the same pattern through a different channel now. Why I say so is because of 2 reasons. One, there was no reason for the government of the day, that also as high as the Home Minister, to intervene at this stage when the investigation was at its as the sources reveal, at almost the final stage, where they are now they've already recorded more than 120 statements of different witnesses.
Right.
And secondly, more importantly, a U-turn by the complainant, which is the minor in this case, in which the POCSO is there. There is no reason why a second 164 statement has to be recorded under CRPC. One statement was good enough. Obviously, it wasn't palatable for the powers that be. And therefore, if at all it is true, a second statement has come through. If a second statement is there, as your sources are revealing, then obviously there is a dilution to that particular allegation against Brij Bhushan Singh. And this will only go one way, which is to benefit the accused in this case. And therefore, the POCSO being the most grievous of the offences, it was actually under section 10 that this particular offence should have been registered. I don't know which sections they have invoked. If the police has not even invoked section 10 of POCSO, there goes the intent of the police right from the beginning, which is doubtful. Okay. Which is, if they have recorded an FIR, registered an FIR under a slightly lesser offence than section 10, where there is a minimum sentence of imprisonment of 5 years and a maximum of 7 years, and they have tried to dilute it. The intent was clear right from the beginning.
That raises, Rahul, I'm coming to you. That raises a very important question. And Ashwini Nachappa, if I may bring you in, ma'am, for any athlete, or let me say it this way, for any woman to put herself out to this kind of public scrutiny day in, day out, in front of media, in front of the entire country, and for wrestlers, those who take pride in, representing their country, winning medals for their country, the way this entire drama, if I may call it, or the way this entire protest has played out for the last 2.5 months, ma'am, where do you stand as an athlete? And is there any hope for justice as far as these wrestlers are concerned?
I think the very fact that such high-profile athletes, for the first time in India, has come out openly to protect their fellow athletes and to protect their community in large, takes a lot of courage, enormous amount of courage and grit, especially considering the fact that these federations are held by very powerful politicians. In the last 4-5 decades, Rahul, we all have been fighting the same thing. No federation is devoid of politicians, and they're very powerful. So to even come out against such a powerful person has taken an enormous amount of mental stress on all these athletes, especially the high performing. And to give up that, sit on the streets for over 2 months is not a joke. There has to be some amount of reality and truth in what they are saying. It's just the delay in the manner it has been, done. The delay by the police in registering an FIR. I'm not too sure legally. Rahul will be the better person to, talk about the sections. But having said that, it's delayed. And I think the agitation went on a bit too much. I am not for the khap panchayats because they're the ones who've suppressed women all their lives. So I was totally against that, as well as the farmers' protest. I wasn't happy with the direction that it was leading to, because ultimately everybody is shooting over these people's shoulder, and their actual cause was kind of getting diluted. So I'm happy that they have met the Home Minister. I think there's been a lot of versions from everybody, and it's kind of a confused state. The media puts out something, the athletes are saying something. So, but I don't think going back to work means shying away from the issue. They are there to fight in the larger interest of sport.
Absolutely. Dr. Geeta Bhatt, is this a classic example of the system weighing down somebody who is raising a question or raising a voice against them? Prolong the FIR, prolong any kind of visible, in fact, investigation as far as this case is concerned. Because, Dr. Bhatt, you would also agree, it's just not about justice being done. It has to be seen that it is being delivered. There are some motions in place that will assure these wrestlers that the investigation is on the right track. Is the system completely weighing them down by their very old tried tricks and, trusted ways?
See, Ankit, these are, they are these wrestlers, all three of them, they have brought laurels to this country, and everyone is very proud of them. And if they have, the complaint they have put forward, and they have been raising this issue for the last 2 months. At the same time, it is important that government must address this complaint. And at the same time, if we look at the details which are there in the media, we realize that this is regarding a complaint which is done in 2023, which something which happened sometime in 2017. Now, it's been after 6 years that the complaint has come. So definitely any kind of investigation which is going to take place will take much more time, because, a lot of time has lapsed between when actually this, assuming that this complaint is true, that happened. Now, as per the media reports, there already, the accused has already been called by the Delhi police twice and has been done, long interrogation has been done. More than 200 people have been, their statements have been taken related to this particular complaint. The Delhi police has also gone to the constituency of Brij Bhushan, and there they have also, done the investigation there. So there is a process which is going on. But unfortunately, there are such issues which are happening at other places also in the country, like in Tamil Nadu. This singer, Sripada, Chinmay Sripada, she has been raising the issue of the sexual complaint against a script writer who is very close to Mr. Stalin. So Mr. Stalin, this also could be a reason, because lot of political parties,
Madam,
I'm assuming that these wrestlers,
Madam,
They must have.
While I have all my sympathies to anybody who is fighting this fight against harassment, I'm not allowing you to go into whataboutery about if this did not happen in Tamil Nadu. Let's make an equation or let's equate them. We are talking about the way the wrestlers have protested, the issues that they have picked up. I am not going to make it political. That is why you see we don't have any political guests on the show at this moment. Rahul Mehra, ma'am, hold on. Let me come back to you. I gave you uninterrupted time. Let me bring in Rahul Mehra at this moment. Rahul Mehra, Geeta ji, it's not a political debate. Let's not make it. Let's not get into the usual. Rahul Mehra, I just want to ask from you, if this would have not been Brij Bhushan Singh, if this would have been any other person against whom a POXO case has been registered, would the Delhi police or the investigation would have taken the same pace that we are seeing in this case?
The answer is a categorical no. We all know why the Delhi police is on its back and why is it helping the accused. The police comes under the central government and less said the better. The accused out here is a part of the political party which is in power. That's the long and short of it. We can blame Tamil Nadu, we can debate this till cows come home, but facts will not change and the positions will not change. Let me give you an example. Please see how many FIRs have been registered by the very same investigating agency in Delhi, which is the Delhi police, right from January of 2023, when the allegations first came out against Brij Bhushan Singh. And I can assure you, unless and until somebody would have had some contact somewhere right at the top, the person would have been arrested within minutes, if not within hours. This is a classic example as to how politicians and how political parties, when in power, pretend that the law is taking its own course when things are completely lopsided and protection is given by the powers that be. Now, there could be political compulsions. This man could be too powerful, too useful in some state. We don't know. But the one thing that we know is that this is not the usual stand of the Delhi police. One. Two, which is even more critical, please find out which are these sources from where selective leaks always happen against the wrestlers and Brij Bhushan Singh. There is not a single selective leak which happens through the sources which is in favor of the athlete or the wrestlers.
Right.
So therefore, please join the dots and find out where these selective leaks are coming from. I think we all are intelligent enough to understand it.
Okay.
I need not say any further.
Okay. Ashwin Achappa, right from the beginning when the Delhi police first refused to take their complaint, then refused to file an FIR, it took the Supreme Court to come in and get that FIR registered. Is that one reason why the wrestlers feel, they have been completely pushed in a corner? And hence, of course, the entry of khaps or any other political parties. And then it, of course, gives a handle to the opposition, to the BJP to say that, look, it is political, it is not about sports.
I was earlier in a program and the first time I heard that against Mr. Brij Bhushan in 2016 an article was written and complaints were then, not registered legally, but there were accusations about him on such issues of sexual harassment. Kids had come forward, there was an article written, but nobody saw anything about it. It was all hushed up. So having gone through that process and, it's kept under the carpet, now to see that it has taken so long to file, for Supreme Court to come forward to even file an FIR, and the delay has allowed the accused to actually use his political power to kind of dilute the case in many ways, as well as, I think there are a lot of suspicion here. The delay, the report not being made public, whether it was a committee that was constituted by the government, nobody knows. Nothing has come to the public domain. Why? What does the report really bring out? We have to see that. I mean, so everything is in, in a shadow kind of a thing. We're just listening to this faction, that faction. But having said that, I think this is the time and this is the place, especially when these athletes have come about. We need to bring this. It is nothing new. It is, it's not come off just one-off incident.
That's right.
There's about over 40 cases, registered cases within the SAI of sexual harassment by coaches, by administrators.
Okay.
But unless there is a severe punishment, there is no accountability. And there is
Absolutely.
just such complacent attitude towards this.
Geeta, but I want you to, weigh in on that because like Ashwin Nachappa is saying, and she knows the system inside out, it's not a new case. There have been reports which suggest that the sexual harassment committee, most of the federations don't even have that committee to address, these allegations or when these allegations do come out. In a case like this, shouldn't this have been an example for a government which keeps talking about empowering women, Beti Bachao? Shouldn't this have been a case where the government should have acted above board without any question on the investigation and the way this entire probe is being conducted?
Well, you see, as far as I have an understanding, of course, Ashwini ji, she since being the spokesperson, she knows much about these bodies. But there is the international bodies, they do not, they believe that there should not be any interference from the government. And in fact, as I believe that already they have asked the Indian Olympic Association that they need to intervene and look into that if these guidelines are being followed or not. Definitely, this should be a lesson to learn that for all such type of sports bodies, there should be an internal complaint committee. However, though their website showed that it has a sexual harassment committee, of which Sakshi Malik was a member, as shown by the website, of the Wrestler Federation of India. But in case any such, you see, there should be a zero tolerance for any such issue.
Okay.
And all I wanted to say, Ankit ji, at that time was that there is a possibility that these wrestlers are feeling that other political parties are, trying to take political mileage out of this. Because most of them are coming on their platform.
Okay, I'm completely out of time. I will have to leave it there. Rahul, I'm sorry. I wanted to come to you, but
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Go ahead, Rahul, quickly, because I'm completely out of time.
So two responses. First of all, government interference comes from the government because all politicians, including BJP politicians, Mr. Arjun Munda, who's the central minister in the cabinet, is heading archery. MLA, Mr. Kalyan Chaube, BJP is heading is a secretary in football. So please don't give this gyan on national television that there should be divorce between politics
This is exactly what I was coming to. This is exactly what I was coming to. Rahul, I'm completely out of time. I'm so sorry. I really thank all three of you for putting forward your point of view on this. This is very important, and the conversation needs to carry on this. But that's the fact. When politicians from every political party are in charge of this body or that body, can you actually then expect that there is no political or governmental interference as far as sports bodies are concerned? So let's not go and be fooled by that argument. What happens to the wrestlers' protests? NDTV will keep a very, very close eye on that, and we'll keep raising the important questions. Thank you so much. Good night.